Striper! I know I've had a bad time today of putting the fish on the camera, but I was trying to win a tournament and I didn't. So now you can see the fish because it don't matter. Here you go. Yes, sir. It's a good one too. Come on. Come on. This is a big fish. Problem is, it's just a 10-pound leader, man. Knew I should have changed it out. Come on. Don't come off, man. I can't bear another fish coming off today. No, get off of there. Come on. Come on, don't come off, please. Hello? I got a big one on right now. I think I get like a big one. I've been fighting this fish for a while. The head shakes are slow. No, I pulled all my gizzards off. I'm just running herring now. Yeah, I think this is a big fish, dude. I think it's a 20 plus. I had another one I missed about 5 minutes ago before this fish hit. I smashed my knee getting off the back deck to go grab the rod, and by the time I got there, everything was over. Don't come off, please don't come off. I have lost so many fish today, my confidence is shot. I'm nervous, dude. I've been fighting this fish for a long time, and it's going upstream of the boat, like it's not staying behind the boat. I'm fighting it. I see the swivel. Problem is, this is a 10-pound leader. That's the 4-inch fish. At least I should get big fish in the tournament. I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. Come here, Dad. Don't go back down. Alright, appreciate it. Yeah, buddy. Whew. Not as big as I thought, but it's a good one. It'll measure. That was embarrassing. I thought that fish was going to be much bigger. I'm such an idiot. Oh, crap. That's going to be an embarrassing video. I should probably edit that all out. Striper. Now we just got to keep them out the trees. If he didn't already get us into a tree. Hello. Hold on. You there? I'm fighting the fish, hold on. No, I'm fishing. Friggin' damn. No, I'm still fishing. I dropped my guys off a little while ago and decided I'd fish for a little while. The boat traffic today is nuts. Yeah, but it's windy as hell. It's windy here today. We got one, ladies and gentlemen. Is that camera still on? Yeah, that camera's still on. So I have something to make a video out of. I said I'm checking to make sure my camera was still on. This is actually a decent fish. Golly, fish, come on. Come on, fish, don't come off. Come on. Come on. I think this is a big fish. Feels like it. Come on. Water fish. Yeah, a couple weeks ago I had a fish that I thought was a really big fish and I got it up and it was just like a medium-sized fish. But I was on camera like, this is a big one, this is definitely a big one. Oh yeah, this is big. Yeah. Oh yeah, I haven't posted that video yet at all. The problem is there's trees down there. You gotta keep this fish out of trees. Yeah. Come on, fish. Yeah, I got no desire to watch that crap. Come on, fish. How big is it? Is it a big one? No way. I can't see it. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good fish. Big for Lanier. Yeah, buddy. Get him. Yeah, it's a good one. Biggest one I got out of Lanier in a while. We're actually gonna measure that one. 33 inches. Boom! 33 incher. Pow! What do you think of that? Boom. Where's my... Alright folks, that is the end of the video. Bear with me here, I'm a little tired, but I want to get this video out this week. Tired of letting these videos drag out for so long.
I've been thinking about what kind of commentary I was going to add to this video for the last few days, and I think it's about time I finally talked about striper clubs. Lots of guys, you know, I don't know how to put this without ruffling some feathers, but a lot of guys go to Facebook forums and Facebook groups and stuff like that to ask questions to try to learn how to striper fish. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, 90% of the time, a lot of the people that know what they're talking about just reply with snarky comments like, oh, you don't know, you know, and they have this elitist attitude. Or you have the guys who have the least amount of experience commenting the most and acting like they're the authority on what's going on. I can safely say most of the people who I respect and I know a lot about striper fishing do not comment on these posts. You might see them hit the like button, but they don't want to get involved in the arguments with the back and forth with the guys who have 1/10 the experience and 1/10 the success that they do and argue with that guy. You know, they don't want to stoop down to that level. I hate to say it, but the days of the fishing forum with moderation and people getting rid of the snarky comments and, you know, like people looking up to the group mentors and stuff like that, those days are gone. A lot of the people who are commenting and giving advice, I'll just flat out say it, are people who shouldn't be giving advice. Like I've said before, me becoming a guide, I am a striper guide. My becoming a striper guide wasn't really my idea to become a striper guide. It was other striper guides who talked me into being a guide again. I have the respect of a lot of elite fishermen, and I'm considered one of the better fishermen on my home waters when it comes to stripers. I mean, I have 20 years experience on Lake Lanier fishing for stripers and over 30 years of experience fishing for stripers up and down the East Coast. I know what I'm talking about, but I see people ask for help on these groups and whatnot on Facebook, and I want to comment, but I just don't want to get into the arguments and trying to dispute all the bad information that gets thrown around. And there is a lot of bad information. One way that you can get good, solid information from people who know what they're talking about is to join striper clubs. We have several in the Lake Lanier area. Well, we used to have more, but now we have two. We have what they call the Lanier Striper Club, and we have the Oakwood Striper Club. And there used to be another one called the North Georgia Striper Club, and I was a group member of that group for a while, but that one since went defunct. But if you come to the group meetings, you know, I can't remember the schedule, but the Oakwood Striper Club is the first Monday of each month or the second Monday. But if you contact and get on Facebook and ask around, find me on Facebook, Terrence Jersey Cat O'Shaughnessy, message me, and I will point you towards these striper groups. You know, first off, I would say, as a guy who guides for stripers, I would say book a trip with me and I'll show you everything I know. But just in case you don't have a lot of money laying around to book guide trips and, you know, book a guide trip with each changing season and each changing pattern, get with the striper club group. You know, there's most lakes that have a large striper population or regions that have a large population of striper fishermen will have a striped bass club. And these clubs, they have monthly tournaments. You know, they're friendly tournaments, bragging right tournaments. You're not going to win a ton of money on them. But what you do gain from these clubs is experience, and very good experience. And there's a lot of very good fishermen in these clubs. You know, there's a misconception that a lot of people have that the best fishermen become guides. There are some fishermen out there that I would rank at guide level or even above in some cases who are not guides, who you never know. They don't post on Facebook, they don't brag, they're not out there look at me post like, you know, or making videos like I'm doing. But they have a wealth of information and they like to share with people who are eager to learn. One of the biggest ways around the learning curve, in my opinion, is to go to a striper club, sit down, listen, don't convolute the thing, sit back, listen, take in the information if you're new, ask the questions. You know, a lot of times when the tournament is over on Saturday, they have the meeting the following Monday. And then they'll go from first down to third or sometimes first through fifth and ask those guys, what did you do? What pattern did you find working? What changed throughout the day? Things like that. And you get a really good insight of how the fish were behaving on certain days with certain cloudy conditions and, you know, sun and heat, you know, so many different things that go into it. And if you're respectful and you join in, a lot of times these guys will invite you onto their boat to go fishing, and you can learn a lot about sonar, you can learn a lot about, you know, trolling and this and that and all the other things. And I just strongly suggest joining Striper Club. If you're new to striper fishing and you want to learn it, there's a couple ways to go about it. Either you can go out there and beat your head up against the wall like I did for 10 years until I got the hang of it on Lake Lanier, or you can go and hire a guide, which gets expensive if you're going to hire a guide with each changing. I mean, there's seasons within the seasons. There's winter time, but there are things that happen at the beginning of winter that really kind of fade out by the end of winter. You just think it's like, okay, well, there's spring, summer, fall, winter, so there's 4 different things we do. No, it's way more complicated than that, especially in a freshwater environment. I always thought that. Well, my camera decided to stop there randomly for no apparent reason, but like I said, I used to think that striper fishing in saltwater is one of the more complicated, patterns and things. I mean, it's very complicated, especially reading the surf, like tides and, inlets and all the sod banks and all the different things you can do to stripe bass fish in saltwater environments without a boat. But freshwater fishing for striped bass can be extremely frustrating, especially on a lake like Lake Lanier that has tons and tons of pressure. There are some big fish in Lake Lanier, but there's a lot of empty space, and there's a lot of guys hunting for that same fish, and they're not easy to catch. I'm pretty good at it. That's why I guide, because I'm confident in my skills, and I am, considered dependable when it comes to putting fish on the boat when it comes to striped bass fishing. But again, I'm just treading over the same old water here. If you want to learn how to striper fish and you want to learn seasonal movements and everything else, get with a striper club. You'll learn a lot of information from the striper club. As long as you go in there and you're not a jerk or do anything stupid or ruffle anybody's feathers, people will open up to you and they will, share a lot of information with you. And one of the best things you can do is get there early and stay late, because there's a lot of tactics and discussion that happen before the club meeting and after the club meeting that doesn't get talked about during the meeting itself. And so that's pretty much it for that. Now, another thing, if you notice in this video, I was fishing several different types of areas. I have people talk to me all the time and they say, hey man, when you're pulling planer boards, it looks like you're pulling pretty fast. I'm like, yeah, it depends on where I'm fishing. One of the things I do is I do pull planer boards pretty fast. I'm usually pulling anywhere from 0.8 to 1.1 miles per hour with, shiners, herring, and shad. And a lot of guys are pulling around 0.4, 0.5, up to 0.8. But the way I look at it, change your bait frequently. Fresh bait is key when it comes to striper fishing. I mean, I can't think of one thing that is more paramount than anything else when trolling live bait for stripers is fresh, happy, nice, clean looking bait. So the way I look at it, yes, I'm pulling fast. Yes, it kills the herring quicker, but I should be changing them out pretty quick as it is. And you'll notice when I'm in the back of a creek or it's the winter time and the water's really cold or I'm in a small area, if I know the fish are there and I know they're being stubborn, I'll slow it down. I'll pull at 0.4, I'll pull at 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, whatever I got to do to put the bait in front of the fish to get them to eat. But if I'm fishing open water, like off of the main river channel on the main body of water, I pull pretty fast. I am trying to cover as much water as I can to put my baits in front of active feeding fish. So therefore, I'm pulling really fast. That's the only thing I can say. When I'm in smaller areas or I'm in the back of a creek arm or, in a pocket, something like that, I may be pulling slower if I know the fish are there. But if I'm fishing for scattered fish over open water, off the main river channel, on the main body of water, I'm pulling fast because I want my bait to get in front of as many fish as possible. That goes into it, that hopefully that explains it, why some people see me flying around the lake. I mean, sometimes you'll see me in areas where I'll do 3 laps to one person's lap, when it comes to trolling live bait, because I'm trying to put my bait in front of as many fish as I can, and I want those active fish. That's what I want. I don't want to have to sit there and beat an inactive fish over the head to convince him to eat. I want my bait to go in front of the fish that want to eat. Catch that one, on to the next one. Catch that one, on to the next one. And with that, we're going to close it out. I don't want to talk for too long here, but one thing I have done, these are my sponsored planer boards, Captain Max planer boards. Love them. They're called Captain Max Perfect planer boards. I don't advertise them enough. I really need to get on the ball and start, promoting my sponsored products. I only have really one sponsor. I have a couple other guys that I support, such as Cash Fishing Company, Lou Dog Lures, Sherry's Bait and Tackle. I guess you could say I'm somewhat sponsored by them. I don't want to say pro staff because I don't accept any kind of weird pro staff positions because that's just dumb. But I love these planer boards. But one thing I have done, all planer boards come with these spiral clips. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's see if we get it to focus. But anywho, that's those spiral clips. I've used them for years, but one thing I've never liked about them is they kink up the line really bad above your swivel. And the one thing is it pinches the line to get them on and get them off, and they do get worn out and they get loose to where your line could slip out. Yeah, I have a lot of problems with these things over time where the planer board will just come off the line and go floating away. And by the time I finish fighting my fish, I can't find the planer board anymore. If I had $1 for every planer board that drifted off that I lost because of these clips getting worn out, I would have a lot of dollars. And another thing that has happened, and it's happened several times, and it just happened again the other day when I had a customer reeling in a fish, and this bound up on the line, and we couldn't get this thing no further than the eye of the rod. We reeled it up, it was stuck on the line, got to the eye of the rod, and I had to sit there and mess with it while we had a fish out there fighting until we got it to break free. I mean, it locked up the line. We couldn't reel any more line in. It was tangled and it was twisted. And all my planer boards, except for these newer ones that I've gotten, I have converted to just plain old-fashioned snap swivels. You know, them kinds right there. They slide up and down the line really easy. If they don't bind up, you can open and close them with your finger. I mean, we all know how a swivel works. If you haven't learned that part about fishing, you've skipped a few channels till you got the mind. We'll just say that much. But I have swapped out all of my planer board swivels for the old-fashioned snap swivels. It slides up and down the line easier. It doesn't kink and twist up your line and, you know, put all the kinks and whatnot in it that these do from twisting it and pulling it on and off. Some guys really like these. I did for years, but I've noticed there's a lot of inherent issues that happen from time to time. And I mean, one thing you don't want to happen is you don't want this thing getting tangled up in your line and preventing you from reeling it in when you still got 50 feet of line and a 40-plus pound striped bass on the end of your line. You're not going to want to deal with that. It's going to make you, it's going to make you cry. It's going to make you mad. It's going to make you everything under the sun except for happy. But anywho, that's it. Like I said, I've went back to these snap swivels for the past few months, and I'm happy I did. I don't have the kinks on my line. My line from, you know, from the swivel on up looks good again. I'm not getting a little nicks, scratches, and kinks and flat spots on my line anymore, and the twisted up, you know, gnarled up, you know, slinky on the end. Just a suggestion, you might want to go back to using the snap swivels for, you know, your planer boards. I've went back to them. I'm really happy with it. I'm never going to go back to using the old style spiral swivels again. But, I mean, other than that, we'll recap. Like I said, if you want to learn about striper fishing and you really want to get into it and you want to get your game down, summertime's coming up soon. You know, I've seen some people mention that it's going to be all downlines real soon. Truth be told, if you're fishing just downlines for striped bass in the summertime, you're missing out on a lot of different things. There's a lot of different things that we're doing these days with spinning reels and pitching herring and whatnot. And I mean, last year I was pulling flat lines well into June. And we'll talk about that in a future video. These things are going to be coming up. I'll try to share more about the summertime fishing. And again, if you would like to book a trip and you want to go out and chase some big fish, if you want to go out and chase some numbers, you want to pick my brain, you want to ask me about sonar reading and, you know, what to decipher, what you're looking at, give me a holler. The ad, you know, my card will be at the end of this video. I'll probably have my number running on a ticker tape along the bottom of the video. But that's it, man. Like I said, club, go join one. There's a wealth of information out there that you can be learning, you know, free of charge, except for, you know, your monthly, yearly dues, which I think it's like $100 for the year for both clubs. I think maybe one's 60, one's 100. I don't remember, but it's not much. I mean, for the year, for the amount of knowledge you get and the amount of knowledge that's in that room, you know, that is priceless pretty much. Two, like I said, trolling speed. My trolling speed varies depending on where I'm fishing. If I'm fishing open water and there's scattered fish around and, you know, wolf packs of 1s and 2s and 3s, I'm going to be pulling fast because I want to put my bait in front of as many of those groups of fish as I can. And thirdly, like I said, if you're not a fan of the spiral swivels on the planer boards, go back to the snap swivels. I'm happy I did. I wish I did it earlier. But over the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, I've been using nothing but the snap swivels again, and it's been a night and day difference. I don't know why we ever became so dependent on the spiral swivels to begin with, but I'm not going to use them anymore. But until next time, take care. Information for booking a trip for Big Fish Incorporated is at the end. We are fully licensed and insured guide on Lake Lanier. We have everything needed. We can do your corporate trips. We can do this. We can do that. We can do it all. And until next time, I'll see y'all later. Oh, by the way, like, subscribe, leave a comment. You know all that good stuff. Until next time, take care.